Here's a question that will shake you to your core. If someone watched how you spent your last 7 days, would they be able to tell what you actually care about? Not what you say you care about, not what you post on social media, not what you tell yourself late at night when guilt creeps in, but what you actually, demonstrably care about. Because here's the brutal truth. Your calendar doesn't lie. Your bank statement doesn't lie. Your energy expenditure doesn't lie. You can deceive yourself with words, but your life tells the truth. Most people are living in a devastating contradiction. They say family is everything, but work 70 hours a week and barely see their children. They say health is their priority, but haven't exercised in months. They say they want to build something meaningful, but spend their evenings scrolling mindlessly through content that doesn't matter. The gap between what we value and how we live is where our souls go to die. And the scary part? Most of us don't even realize it's happening. We drift. We respond to the urgent instead of the important. We let other people's priorities colonize our time. And one day we wake up and realize we've been living someone else's life. So let's start with the hardest question. What actually matters to you? Not what you think should matter, not what society says should matter, but what genuinely, in the depths of your being, matters to you. Most people can't answer this question because they've never been forced to confront it. They've inherited their priorities from parents, from culture, from Instagram influencers. They're climbing ladders without ever asking if the ladder is leaning against the right wall. Do the deathbed test. Imagine yourself at 85 years old, lying in bed, taking your final breaths. Looking back on your life, what will you wish you had spent more time on? What will you wish you had prioritized? No one on their deathbed says, "I wish I had spent more time at the office." No one says, "I wish I had worried more about what strangers thought of me." They say, "I wish I had loved harder, risked more, created more, connected deeper." Your deathbed self knows the truth. Listen to them. Now, once you know what matters, you have to face the second devastating question. Are you actually living according to those priorities, or are you just pretending? Because it's easy to say, "My family is my priority." It's harder to look at your schedule and see that you spent more time this week in meetings than with your spouse. It's easy to say, "My health is important." It's harder to admit that you've prioritized deadline after deadline while your body slowly breaks down. Priorities are not what you say, they are what you do. And if there's a gap between the two, you're not living in integrity, you're living in betrayal of yourself. Conduct the 168-hour audit. There are 168 hours in a week. Track every single one for 7 days. Sleep, work, meals, commute, screen time, everything. Then categorize each hour. How many hours went to your top 3 priorities? How many hours went to things that don't actually matter to you? The numbers will terrify you, but they will also liberate you because you can't change what you don't measure. Here's what most people don't understand. Saying yes to something always means saying no to something else. Every commitment you make is a trade. Every hour you give to something is an hour you're stealing from another. When you say yes to that extra project at work, you're saying no to dinner with your family. When you say yes to scrolling social media for an hour, you're saying no to reading that book, to learning that skill, to building that dream. Everything is a trade-off. The question is, are you making conscious trades or unconscious ones? Most people are unconscious. They let urgency dictate their days. They let other people's emergencies become their priorities. They say yes to everything because they're afraid of disappointing people. But here's the paradox. When you say yes to everything, you end up disappointing the most important person of all, yourself. Learn the power of no, not as rejection, but as protection. Every no to something that doesn't align with your priorities is a yes to something that does. No, I can't take on that project means yes, I can be present for my family tonight. No, I won't attend that event means yes, I can work on my health. Your no is sacred. It's the guardian of your priorities. Use it fiercely. But let's talk about the invisible thief, the one that steals your time without you even noticing. Distraction. You think you're just taking a quick break, just checking your phone for a second, just watching one episode. But one episode becomes 3. One scroll becomes an hour, and suddenly it's midnight, and you realize you spent the entire evening on nothing. Not on your priorities, not on rest, on nothing. Distraction is the slow leak that drains your life. It's not dramatic, it's not obvious, but day by day, it steals what matters. And you don't realize it until you look back and wonder, where did the time go? Create non-negotiable blocks. These are sacred times on your calendar dedicated only to your top priorities. Family time from 6 to 8 p.m. No phone, no email, just presence. Health time from 6 to 7 a.m. No exceptions, no excuses. Creative time every Saturday morning. Lock them in your calendar like doctor's appointments, because that's what they are. Appointments with your soul. Now, here's where it gets uncomfortable. Energy management is just as important as time management. You could have all the time in the world, but if you're exhausted, depleted, running on fumes, you won't have anything to give to what matters. Think about it. You spend all day at work giving your best energy to your job, and then you come home and you have nothing left. Your family gets the scraps, your dreams get the leftovers, your health gets ignored. You're giving your best to what matters least and your worst to what matters most. This is backwards, and it's killing you. Identify your peak energy hours. When are you at your sharpest, your most creative, your most alive? For most people, it's the morning, and yet, what do they do with those precious hours? They check email, they attend meetings, they react to other people's agendas. Stop. Guard your peak energy like it's gold, because it is. Use it for what matters most. Your priorities deserve your best, not your leftovers. Let's address the guilt, because when you start prioritizing what truly matters, people will be upset. Your boss might be frustrated that you're setting boundaries. Your friends might be disappointed that you're saying no more often. Society might judge you for not hustling 24/7, and you'll feel guilty, like you're being selfish. But here's the truth. Living according to your priorities isn't selfish. It's self-respect. You only have one life, one chance to spend your time on this planet. And if you spend it living for everyone else's approval, you'll arrive at the end with deep, soul-crushing regret. The people who truly love you will respect your boundaries. The people who don't, they were never really for you anyway. Write your priority declaration, a simple statement that anchors you. My top 3 priorities are family, health, creative work. Everything else is secondary. Put it somewhere you'll see it every single day, because when the world tries to pull you in 1,000 directions, this is your compass. This is your anchor. Here's what happens when you align your life with your priorities. You stop feeling like you're being pulled apart. You stop feeling guilty all the time. You stop wondering, is this all there is? Because you're finally living with intention. You're building a life, not just surviving one. Your days have meaning. Your energy has purpose. And even on the hard days, you know you're moving in the right direction. But alignment is not a one-time decision. It's a daily practice, because life will constantly try to knock you off course. New opportunities will seduce you. Emergencies will demand your attention. Old patterns will try to pull you back. Do a weekly priority check-in. Every Sunday evening, ask yourself, did I honor my priorities this week? Where did I drift? What needs to change next week? This simple practice keeps you honest. It keeps you accountable. It keeps you aligned. Right now, before this moment passes, write down your top 3 priorities. Not what you think they should be, but what they actually are in your heart. Then look at your last week. Did your time reflect those priorities? If not, what's one change you can make tomorrow? Just one. Maybe it's waking up 30 minutes earlier to exercise. Maybe it's blocking off your evenings for family. Maybe it's deleting the app that steals your focus. Small changes in alignment create massive changes in fulfillment. You don't need to overhaul your entire life overnight. You just need to start moving in the right direction, one choice at a time, one day at a time, one priority at a time. Because here's the final truth. Your life is happening right now, not tomorrow, not someday, now. And every moment you spend on something that doesn't matter is a moment you'll never get back. So stop drifting. Stop letting urgency steal from importance. Stop living someone else's definition of success. Decide what matters, protect it fiercely, live it fully. Your priorities are your life's foundation. Build on them, honor them, and watch how everything else falls into place.